Hello, everyone. Here we are. We're live and we are ready to talk to you tonight about something very interesting. Our Spirit is Center, Peace and Knowledge. It's open for business. And our business is to bring peace, to bring moments of reflection. And we brought tonight Cristiane Amaral. She's with us for a long time. And on the last Thursday of every month, we have this program called Meditation and Spiritism. And tonight, being the last Thursday of the month, here we are. And the theme and the reflection that we're going to have, and later on with guided meditation by Cristiane, we're going to talk about finding our epicenter in times, challenging, difficult times. And before we start, and welcome, Cristiane. How are you tonight?
I'm doing great. How about you?
Excellent. So we just like to have a very quick opening. So we ask our mentors, we ask for our God to bring everyone who's watching right now live or watching later through the internet and through all the channels, that they find peace. May this message be well taken. May we be channels of this light, and that we are faced with nowadays. So may we be protected. May Cristiane words and may all of this tonight be reaching everyone's heart. With that, Cristiane, please go ahead.
Thank you, everybody, for being here. I'm super excited. And the fact that we're doing this, despite the fact that we are not together like we normally are, it's still the last Thursday of the month. And today is the day we get together. And I always get excited because today could be that day that one more person is going to give meditation a chance. One more person might decide to try a new technique. And that really warms my heart. So here we go. The proposal of the night, I should say, is finding your epicenter in challenging times. How appropriate is it when the challenge just went up just a little higher? We just raised the bar for challenges right now. And yes, the challenge is here. But because we never get anything that we are not ready to receive, we probably are ready for this. Therefore, it has been given to us as a gift. So here we are. We're going to accept the gift of the challenge, and we're going to roll with it. Not only we're going to roll with it, we're going to use techniques to try to walk with it, walk tall, and knowing our steps. So we learn how to walk firmly and assertively where we want to go, and learn with the process of walking. So when we think about the challenges that are brought to us now, this gift of staying more within yourself, away from the distractions of the world, it's an invitation for us to look more inside us, inside our ways of looking at life, our ways of dealing with challenges, our ways of accepting or not accepting what is brought to us on a daily basis. We all know this very important saying when Jesus said, know thyself, and the truth will set you free. We've heard this many times in different presentations. We've read it in many books. We've seen it said in many different situations. We understand that the more we know ourselves, the better we can handle our life, and we can better experience our life. So the life experience while we're here on this earth, going through the sensations of being alive, we do it more gracefully when we know ourselves. We know what challenges us, what makes our heart sing. We know how to better accept what is brought to us. And like they say, if we get lemons, we make lemonade. If we get apples, we make apple pie. It's whatever we get, we learn to work with it. But between that saying of know thyself and the truth will set you free, and the actual doing it and actually investing in knowing yourself and knowing what your patterns are in life, and so you're not so reactive, there is a huge gap, because we don't tend to invest in learning what rocks are about. We just go with it and we don't even pay attention. Most of the time, we get distracted. Let's just say the typical distractions that we normally get. We go to the mall and we spend hours checking on anything that is new. And there's plenty for you to buy, for you to see. There's lots of sales going on. There's always something new that you could buy, the sale that will never come back. So we distract ourselves with that, and we justify being there and spending a lot of time with that kind of distraction. Sometimes we distract with things that seem to be healthy habits. Let's say going to the gym, going to exercise. I totally believe in exercise. I totally believe in staying healthy and taking care of your body. However, sometimes we might give way too much time into that. Hours and hours of every day exercising, being at the gym, so we don't have to address other things. So it's another great distraction. Even though it's a healthy distraction, when we do a lot of it, it comes out to be a little too much. It is a distraction. Another one that is done quite often is the happy hour. It's happy. It's not always so happy when you go home and you actually look and how you feel, and not always so happy. But we a lot of times choose the happy hour. We choose a lot of TV time and potato chips, and keep on doing that. Again, distraction after distraction. They are more like strategies. We choose those because we don't want to look at the things that we actually need to be looking at. We all guilty. We all choose. Sometimes we choose it more often than other times, but we always do that. We tend to find strategies so we don't have to look within. We don't have to look at the things that will make you understand yourself better, me understand myself better, so we can relate to one another better, because now I know myself better, you know yourself better, so we have a better understanding and positioning ourselves when we are relating to others. So that confusion that takes over you, you're like, no, don't want to look at it. I just don't want to deal with that. But there are things that need to be done. You can save it for later. You can put it under the rug. You can cover it up, pretend it's not there, but it is there. And eventually, we will have to address it. We might do it by choice and go freely, studying ourselves better, reading things that stimulate our thought process, that makes you ponder in how you live your life. We might decide to listen to podcasts or books or talks that stimulate our process of thinking about how we are in life. But eventually we will have to go there. If you didn't choose to do that on your own, it will be offered to you in a more forceful way. Things like cleaning the fridge. Who wants to clean the fridge? Who wants to go through the whole thing, pull everything out, check to see what is expired, what needs to be replaced, who needs to deal with all the weeds that are taking over the garden, who wants to deal with the garage that has all those piles of everything. I'll do it later. All these mundane things, they're also the things inside us. We choose to do it later. Sometimes there are things that are even a little deeper than that. Let's say you say, okay, at least I'm going to clean the fridge today. Here I go. Put your gloves on. You on a mission. I'm going to take care of this. As you clean the fridge, you know that behind that fridge also needs to be cleaned. There's a lot of stuff behind that fridge, but not going there today. This should suffice. I'm just going to address the fridge and pretend there is no behind the fridge. It's fine. We don't have to. But eventually, the spring cleaning day will call your name and you're going to have to show up. Guess what? Then comes the coronavirus social distance, the mandate by the state, by the country, by the world. It is time to go within and look behind the fridge, period. There is no way around it. The distractions that we've had up to now are taken away from us, robbed you of your distractions. No more happy hour. No more going to the movies, to the gym. Anything that you used to do to distract yourself, even that car ride going nowhere, is gone. No more. The only option we have is to go here. Now, within, look behind the fridge. No matter what kind of monsters are there, cobwebs, whatever it may be, it is time to look at it. We sometimes will take a deep breath and say, oh my God, now I have to do it. I don't have a choice. And as we try to look, people are telling us, this is your chance. You have a chance. You have more time. You have more energy. You can clean your closets. You can go behind the fridge. You can address the yard, do some home projects. And those are the same things as saying also, now you can discuss with your wife or with your husband those tensions that were there, and you were escaping those by going to the gym or going to the happy hour or everything. Now you're kind of together here, and we kind of have to address it. Those teenagers that sometimes get on your nerves, you're going to have to be super patient with them, because now you are with them a long time. So those are the things that are here. Those are the things that we have to address that are no longer hidden behind the fridge. They are no longer offered a distraction from. So we have to show up. And showing up for things like this is not very comfortable. Because to begin with, there was a reason why we chose not to address them before all this social distance. Before all that, we were already finding a strategy to distract ourselves from it. There is a reason. If we go and look and really look for it inside, there is a reason. We were just trying to avoid a certain conflict. Be a conflict within us, a conflict with somebody close to us, or a challenge that once you take a step and you push that first domino, there is no coming back. You have to keep on going forward. And we are not always ready to go forward. So we stay in that state. Do I push? Do I not? Do I go? Do I stay? Because once you push, you got to go. So we try to avoid going there. So we stay status quo. We don't move. But now the proposal is we have to move, and we're not moving out. We're moving in. That is what we are offered now. And with a few things, we're doing great. we are doing quite well in adjusting some of the eating habits. We are addressing some of the organization skills, trying to get the kids to do homeschooling. With other things, we're not doing so great. The behaviors, trying to be patient when the kid behaves a little intense, trying to be tolerant with one another, we are not doing so great. So we're doing good in some ways, but not so good in other ways. Another thing that is really hard for us is to stay away from those we love and like to touch and hug and kiss. Not being able to touch your grandmother, not being able to touch your grandchild or your elderly brother or your friend that is in a situation that the health is not very good. He's not in very good health, so he needs to be further away from you. It's kind of hard for us. We are human beings, are meant to be together and collaborate, and we are social beings. It's hard for us not to socialize. The internet has been a great blessing for us to be able to see one another and talk and see the expressions, but still we miss being there, touching, eating together, the scent, sharing the same area. So those are things that are challenging for us. So we wanted to talk about the fact that we have to face things now that we are not always comfortable facing. We are now offered a time to get out of our comfort zone, not by choice, by pressure. Because the choice is long gone. Now it's like, stay here. You have to face it. So when you think about, now I'm going to have to face this, as we think about, okay, this is the perfect time for me to address that situation with my husband. This is the perfect time for me to discuss the situation with my sister-in-law, or whatever it is that it's brought to you now. We have that anxiety start to build. Oh gosh, now I need to address it. Sometimes the nervous system is going to tell you to fight and really try to push it into the person and say it with, very strong words and energetic way. Sometimes the nervous system is going to tell you to retract and really shy away from it. Sometimes it's that anxiety that takes over and you can hardly breathe. The panic attack starts to sink in. Other times it's that sense of stuck. I can't move anywhere. I have no energy to go forward or backward. I'm simply stuck. All this are just behaviors that the sensory system has taught us to use when we feel that something is threatening us. The threat comes because we have the fear of, I don't know what this is. The uncertainty causes us this fear. What now? For one thing, this time in our lives is so uncertain. We don't know exactly when the kids are going back to school. We don't know exactly when I go back to work. We don't even know if we'll have the money to pay the mortgage 2 months down the road. All we know is that things could change drastically at any minute. We know it's not going to be overnight, but we have no ways to predict when things are going to go back to normal. Not that we'll ever go back to what we had before, but a little more, a sense of normalcy, something closer to what we had. We still don't know when that's going to happen. And that tends to cause a lot of discomfort. We're not good at dealing with discomfort. That's not our favorite place to be. So, because we like to bring techniques, We try to bring a little bit of insight that you can take home with you when we finish our presentation. We decided to bring today a video that's going to tell us a little bit about impermanence. That will teach us, let's say you decide that you want to address that longing that is inside you to address a certain topic with somebody very close to you. Something is very meaningful to you, and you want to do it, and it's not happening. So you start thinking about it. And this video is going to show us how this is possible. So here we go. Let's say you start thinking about how you want to address it. You are creating the scenario. You are visualizing how you want to do it. You're setting the scenario in your head. You are planning. You are thinking about it. But as you think about it, as you plan how you're going to say it, the anxiety, it starts to build, and you start thinking, uh-oh, now I'm going to get to that center and I'm going to push that domino. Once I start that process of addressing this thing that is inside me, that I can no longer be distracted from, I cannot go back. So when you feel that anxiety taking over you, it gets to that point when you feel like, no, stop. This is too much for me. It's the top of my discomfort. I cannot bear going any higher than this. That's when I bring you great news. Nothing stays forever. Everything is impermanent. Everything comes up, everything goes down, everything goes down, and everything goes up. So, scientific research has proven to us that nothing, the discomfort, the peak of any discomfort situation will not last more than 90 seconds. 90, a minute and a half. So once you get to that place when you feel like you can no longer go and you are afraid of pushing the domino, of taking the step, of taking the initiative, you feel like the words cannot come out of your chest, everything is stuck here. If you can endure this for 90 seconds, for a minute and a half, the situation starts to dilute. You start to see things a little clearer. And the fog goes down a little, and now you can see. And then you can take the next step and the next step and address that thing that was consuming you. So this is something for us to write on a post-it and put it everywhere. If I can handle the discomfort in my life for 90 seconds, I can go to the next step and move forward and progress. So this is the cool thing about understanding that everything is temporary. So look at that video there. Everything is fading away the same way it came, the same way it's going away. And we can do this. Just visualize this. Every time you feel like, I'm not going to go forward with this project, I'm not going to challenge myself, I'm not going to say what I want to say, just remember, the discomfort is only going to last 90 seconds. And then it's a piece of cake. You can cruise and you can address and you can see things moving. And we cannot guarantee that it's going to go always your way, but it's an opportunity for growth. And that's what this situation is offering us, inviting us to look at our discomfort, understand that no matter how uncomfortable it is to be there, once you take the first step, those first moments will be hard, and it will dilute, and you will be able to move forward and keep on going. That is what is going to speak to our heart today. And when we talk about going through our discomforts, what is uncomfortable to deal with, it's a very appropriate time for us to bring something from the Psalm 23rd that tell us that the Lord prepares a table for me in the presence of my enemies. The Lord prepares a table, a feast for me, for you, for us all, in the presence of my enemies, your enemies, our enemies, because we all have them. And how relief I feel in my heart knowing that I have that. God has my back. The console that I know that no matter what, He's got me covered. So He prepares this meal. He prepares this table for me, even around all these enemies. That is quite comforting. And when we know we have that kind of power holding us, cradling us, when we're going through things like what we're going through now, we understand that we can go forward with it because we know there is this force that is pure light and love that carries me through this whole thing. And more importantly, it carries me when I am faced with all these enemies. That makes you just exhale. That is just so comforting to know that. So the next question is, who are those enemies? Who are they? Who are the ones that are going to be there, that I'm going to be afraid of, even though I am supported by that strong life that carries me and protects me and gives me the power and the strength to keep on going? The enemies are our discomforts. All these things that bother me inside, that makes me feel inadequate, that makes me feel that I'm not enough, that makes me feel that I'm going to fail. But the Lord is telling us, you don't have to feel this way. Because even when you're faced with those feelings of inadequacy, of not being enough, I am preparing for you a table of plenty. And this is your gift. If the uncertainty of what we're living right now is bringing us all this anxiety, this despair, will I be able to do it? Will I be able to handle the situations? Will I be able to endure not touching and being with those that I love for so long? Will I be able to control my anxiety for not being able to do the budget for this month? All these things are going to continue to be here because that's our reality right now. But these discomforts are nothing when we know that the Lord is here providing, giving us this table of plenty. And this is what we want to bring today. The thought that we're going to go through a lot of stuff. We're not done yet. The curve is not quite flat. I don't even know what flat means in this mind, the way they're talking about. I don't think we're going to get flat for quite some time. But we know we are covered. He's got our back. And even if we have to deal with this, we're going to have to still be able to handle the discomfort. So today, because we are always trying to show a technique, a meditation technique, we're going to bring a technique today that will help us deal with those 90 seconds, the first 90 seconds of discomfort. We are aiming for that, for a big, old sunflower. We are aiming for light. So we're going to show a technique today that anybody can do. So I want you guys to do it with me. Before I start, I'm just going to talk a little bit about the limbic system. It's a part of our brain that processes our emotions. So right now, the limbic system is working extra hard over time because it's having to process a lot of new things that we don't have anything to compare to. And the limbic system is going to receive the information, take it up there, work it out, bring it back through sensations, and the body, the mind, the person is going to react based on how the emotions touch their memories, touch what they've lived before, touch what they know for being true for them. And because the idea here is to not be super reactive in an ugly way, we're trying to be a little more graceful, especially now that we're super close to our families. We're kind of staying too many hours together. We're trying to be more graceful in the way we react. So the way to do this is to calm the emotions a little bit and be able to let the limbic system process it and keep us in that state of serenity that will give us a chance to understand the situation and then react in a more positive way. So let's go for the technique so we can get some sunflowers. One hand on your chest, right here. The other hand right here. So the two thumbs are going to hook together. Just the fact that you're doing this, you are activating the limbic system. Right here, you are already halfway there. If you simply do this, activate your limbic system like a butterfly here and sit this on your chest. If you just do this, neurophysiologically, you are already in a better place. You are already giving your limbic system a way to chill. So let's stay here. We are already chilling right here. Now, we're going to try to make this a little more powerful. So we're going to take a deep breath, starting from our belly. Grow. And exhale. Lower. Squeeze the belly button into the spine. When we're doing this, we made the butterfly a little more powerful because now we have the activation of the limbic system plus the breath. A deep breath in and a deep breath out. We're gonna add one more layer to this. We're gonna add a field of thought based on the heart math solution that we've had speeches about it before. The heart math solution tells us that if you bring to the field of thought something that is pleasant, it's easier to calm the brain, calm your emotions. So we're going to try to go to that day when you felt like $1 million, the day that You are so happy to be alive. Just revisit that day. It tends to be a day when you are out in nature, but it doesn't have to necessarily be there. So we're going to be here. We're going to have this butterfly sitting here, taking deep breaths. And we're going to visualize ourselves on that specific day. Maybe you were at the beach with the kids and the kids were playing and you were super happy. Or that day that you got news that the job that you wanted was finally yours. The day you found out that after 5 miscarriages, you finally are going to have a baby. Whatever it is for you, that day that made you feel amazing, that's where we're going to go. We're going to smell it, see it, feel it, touch that day in every aspect you can. Here we are. We're taking deep breaths with our limbic system activated and in that happy day. And to make it even more powerful, we're going to add an affirmation that is meaningful to our heart. You can say something like, I am okay. I will be okay. You're still thinking that happy day right here. Or, as it is appropriate today for us to do, we could do something like, the Lord prepares me a table of plenty, even when I have this discomfort inside me. So I've got it. He's got it covered. So we choose whatever we want to think, the affirmative that is meaningful to you. And if you don't like to meditate, you don't like to close your eyes, you can stay right here. Breathing, you can look at a plant. This morning would have been a perfect day for this because that rain, you could have just looked at it and doing this, looking at the rain outside, just looking through the window. This can be so comforting, so calming that no matter what your enemies are, we will be okay. We'll be here. So if we don't get anything from this presentation today, we're just going to remember this butterfly. So whenever things get a little rough, we can come right here. Just be here with your butterfly. This is something that I also want you to offer to the children. Because when we are going through all these changes, these emotions that go up and down, the kids can perceive all this in us. They don't always know how to react to how we are behaving. So they might act a little hyperactive or withdrawn. Kids react differently, but you know it's not who they really are. So we can have games with them. We can, let's say, have everybody in the family sit together just before dinner or right after dinner or whenever we choose to. Now we have so much time together. We can say, okay, let's make butterflies. We're going to take deep breaths and we're going to take turns saying something that is pretty and makes your heart happy. So let's say Dad can say, I'm very happy that I'm working from home, so I get to have breakfast with you guys. It's so much fun. I like it. I like that. And then Mom can, say whatever makes her happy to be in the situation we are, And then the kids have their chance to say whatever makes them happy. Chances are it's going to be something like, I'm so happy I don't have to get up early and go to school. I'm so happy I don't have as much homework to do. I'm so happy I can watch a lot more TV and I can play a lot more video games. Chances are they will say that, but it's also cool. It's what makes them happy. It's what makes them more serene, and everybody wins when we do that. So if you have a chance, try to incorporate this with the kids in a game or an activity, a family activity. That's always quite powerful to do that. And like we always do, towards the end of our presentation, we do a meditation. So you can stay here. You can keep your butterfly. We're going to put a video. You can just look at the video, keep your eyes open. Look, that video is going to be quite inviting for you to just look and stay there and stay calm. If you choose to, you can close your eyes and look for that peaceful place. And like we've said before, if thoughts come, let them fade away. Let them clouds take them away, and just we'll revisit them later. Or you can choose to just look at this video. Either way is fine. I'm just going to guide you through some of this meditation. And then we're going to stay in this state of serenity to wrap up our prayer. Because as we do this meditation together, just remember, virtually this energy is just as powerful as the one we get when we are together at the center. The mentors have prepared this energetic space for us, the same way they prepare every week before we get there. So we are already in sync, same vibe, together. So the meditation is just to give us an extra power of togetherness. So let's enjoy it. If everything else fails, just hold on to your butterfly and you'll be super fine. Okay, so close your eyes if you wish. If not, just look at the video. And we're going to take deep breaths. Take a deep breath. Belly, chest, shoulders are up. Exhale, lower. Squeeze the belly button into the spine. Making peace with what is now. The discomfort sometimes will still come. But now we know that after 90 seconds, things will get better. All we have to do is breathe and trust. We trust our hearts. We trust this butterfly that sits on our chest. This butterfly that invites us to look what is not comfortable. To look at something new. To look at a new possibility. We have been assured that no matter what's over there, no matter what I will find after I turn the curve, The Lord has prepared a table of plenty, and I will be okay. The butterfly gets a little more comfortable. The smile is a little warmer. The flying is a little lighter. We are now searching new places. Places never visited before. But we know that no matter where we go, no matter how many forks we find on the road, no matter which way we choose to go, the table of plenty is there. We let this butterfly explore new places, new gardens, meadows, and forests. We will keep on going, and we'll grow strong, beautiful, and powerful from within. We will keep on flying towards the table of plenty. The table that was prepared for us, that awaits for us whenever we give ourselves permission to fly there. With a brave heart, fly a little higher.
With that meditation, let's just keep this same energy for us to do our vibration, and then we do the closing. As we are going through these challenging times and we're trying to find our epicenter, and we are so grateful that we do have a center, a spiritual center that is there open for us, that we can bridge right now to that place where spiritual friends are watching over us. We have a guardian angel who's never left our side. We have the presence of all of those friends and guardians remind us all the way, all the time, that our enemies, our discomforts are simply challenges that we must go through in order to be liberated, just like the butterfly. May these times of seclusion, sometimes loneliness that we might feel, be surrounded with hope and light. May we feel that even the butterfly that flies so freely and beautiful and perfectly was at one time inside of a cocoon that we find ourselves right now. We don't know how long we will stay here. So we need to have patience. We need to have faith. Let's connect to our spiritual mentor, our personal spiritual mentor who never left us. He's always with us. Let's connect to our Master Jesus, who is the CEO of this universe, who's looking after the macrocosmos, but he's never ever left the sight on us. We were made to be happy, to be perfect. And in this journey, we must go through all of the schooling, education needed. May this be a phase of education. Let's vibrate to love, peace, and comfort for all of those who are so affected by this disease, those who have left this incarnated world and it's now in the spiritual world. May all of those who need you so much receive your peace. May we have peace within our household. In your name, Jesus, we say. And with that, we thank you so much, Cristiane, for being with us. And we hope to see you all next time.
Thank you. Good night, everybody.
Have a great night. Bye bye.
Bye.